Trading since 2016, teaching since 2021, and dropping bars since 2023. What's good? It's your boy Big Bain in this thing, and y'all see where we at. BBIDF, right? My channel is dedicated to, your everyday hard working man and woman, right? You know what I'm saying? Who really going through it, and they just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? They're looking for that way out, and they heard about Forex, but they don't really think it was for them. They don't think they could figure it out. They don't think they could ever, really make any money with it because they think it's too difficult. Well, I take all that complex stuff and I break it down into layman's terms to where you can understand and get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Have yourself a little avenue and a way out. You know what I'm saying? So if that's you, and I know it is, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and I'm gonna catch you on the inside. All right, it's your boy. Peace.
Yeah, I'm really finna get your ass the game, man. You know I break it down. Come on, man, you know it's Bain.
When we're talking about support and resistance, guys, this is just a logical area of where price got to. That's all that means, okay? Don't overcomplicate support and resistance, right? People get very nervous when they're looking at a chart and now they have to draw out support and resistance. They don't really know what's the support area, support zone, blah, 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 right? It just becomes like, oh God, what am I doing, right? Compose yourself now and understand that it is nothing but a logical area that you already can see, right? You see it right now. You just don't know that you see it. But once I start putting up these support and resistance areas, you're gonna be like, I saw that. I figured you was gonna put the line right there. I figured you was gonna put the zone right there. You already gonna feel it, but you weren't confident to know that this really means something. This is where you should have put it at and things like that. But we're going to break it down now. So the first thing is we're looking for multiple touches. What do I mean by multiple touches? What I mean is that if we draw a line, right? So if I just put this line, I'm going to draw a line. All right. First, let me bring this down, get the candles out of the way. Just demonstration right now. If I draw this line, right? Somebody tell me, how many touches do we have on that line? Somebody tell me how many touches.
None.
That's right. That's right. Tanya's right. Shaq is right. We have no touches on that line. All right. Price was doing this thing, but price never touched that line. All right. So rock with me now. Somebody tell me how many touches do we have now?
Three.
That's right. And thank you guys for really paying attention to that, because right here, this is not touching that line. All right. This is absolutely done on purpose to illustrate my point. All right. Is that we're looking for multiple touches. So we got one. It didn't draw it. All right. We got one, we got two, and we got three. Right. All of these points are where the lines, where price, the candles really, the candles touch this line. Right. So if we were talking support and resistance, this would be our resistance line. Can anybody tell me why this would be our resistance line? I know I haven't given away that answer, but maybe some of you guys know. Why would this be considered my resistance line?
Because the price was rejected at that line.
That is correct. That is an answer. That is a correct answer. Can anybody else give me any other reason why this would be considered a resistance line? It's looking at.
Hey, Ben.
Yes.
I got a quick question, but I guess I'll try to answer that too.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the other guy said, but it didn't break the line, but it also has multiple touches where it didn't break the resistance line. I'm guessing is what you're looking for.
Well, no, you guys are both saying the same thing, because you guys are saying that it's resistance because you see that price hasn't broken above it. But there's also one more answer that I'm looking for, which is kind of the same thing you guys are already saying, but I just want to see if anybody else is going to say it in a different kind of way.
Can I ask you one question before you do that?
Yes.
Are you looking for the price to close above that line, meaning the candle, or you're looking for just the wicks to break that?
If we're talking about breaking it, I want the body of the candle to break it. All right. If we're talking about breaking it, right? So yeah, if we're that line will no longer be resistance if a candle has broken, not just one candle. All right. It can't be one candle. All right. It has to be a couple of candles that have to open and close above it. You understand what I'm saying? To be for that line no longer to be resistance. Okay. But we're gonna get to that. That's in this support and resistance chapter right now. But what I was looking for, guys, the answer that I was looking for is that price stayed below this line. So you guys really said it just in the opposite way, where you're saying it rejected this line, right? So we got that price rejected it, it rejected it, it rejected it. But what you're noticing, or what else is here, is this, is that there is, sorry, there is no candles above this line, right? These were just my little marking points to tell you, where the hits were, right? But no candle is really above this line. So if all the candles are below the line, it's always going to be resistance. All right, that line is always going to be resistance. So it depends on where the candles are, right? So you guys need to understand this. All right, this is very, very, very critical. All right, here's our line in the sand. Okay, above this line, if the candle is there, this is support. Okay, if the candles are below this line, this is resistance. You guys have to write that down. Please make that note. Make it a mental note. Make it a physical note on a piece of paper. But you have to know when candles are below a line, that line is your resistance line. When candles are above your line, this line here now becomes support. Okay, so let's do it like this. Boom, there you have it. All right, these candles, right? This set of candles are above this line, right? So it's above this line, so that's your support. These candles, these same candles, are below this line, so this line is your resistance. Okay, so let's just take this away, right? Take that away, this away, that away, this away. Again, can somebody tell me these candles are above or below this line? Anybody shout it out? These candles right now, are
They're
they?
right at the line.
They're
They are.
below.
They're
They're
right at the line.
They're
they
below.
they're both. They're both. They meet. They hit the line, and then they're below the line. But majority of the candles are below the line, right? Because all of these are candles, right? All of these are candles. 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 All of these, right? So all of these candles are majority below the line. It's only these few candles right here that actually touch the line. These few candles right here that actually touch the line. This little candle, maybe one candle is right here that's actually touching the line, right? So price is below this line. So if price is below the line, somebody tell me, what line is this? Is it a support or resistance line?
Resistance.
There we go. It's a resistance line. All right. So let's do this. All right. Are the candles above or below that line?
Above.
Above that line. So can somebody tell me, what is this going to be? What is this line going to be? Support or resistance?
Support.
Boom. There we go. Oh, well, color the wrong one. boom, it's going to be support. All right. And so if I were to do resistance right now, boom, there's my resistance. Okay. Because the candles are below this line. So if the candles are below the line, it's resistance. If the candles are above the line, it's support. This is the foundation. This is where you guys start to really make the money. Just understanding this simple concept. And I said it 1,000 times. Forex is not hard. You have to understand the concepts. Once you do, the game is over. All right? The game is over, people. This ain't rocket science. You don't need to, have 4 years of school, none of that stuff, right? You don't even need to be in orientation for a month. You can get this in a week, all right, and be rocking and rolling. Some of y'all got it right now. Y'all like, oh, that's it? Shit. Well, damn, I ain't know, Ooh, that's that, right? So here we go. Now, our rules, right? So we said, what do we want? We want multiple touches, right? Okay. So now we're going to go to the actual candles, and I'm just going to start putting my support and resistance. And this will be literally how I mark up my support and resistance on these charts, just using a horizontal line. Okay. Not going to get fancy with, zones and all that. Just going to do a line so you can get the idea. All right. I go to my day chart. I reset the chart. Boom. Now, all I do is I look at the candles. All right. I'm just looking at the candles. And what am I looking at? I'm looking at all these reversal points. See reverse here, see reverse down here, reverse here, reverse there, reverse, right? It's just going reverse, 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 right? So now I'm looking at these turning points and I'm saying, okay, where does it look like the candles have touched, right? And I take my horizontal tool, right? Now I'm looking for my resistance area. So I put it right here. I'm really looking right here at these candles because they kind of level off, right? Yeah, it's just 2 or 3 candles, right? But they created a level. See, I'm not looking here because these candles are going up, right? I'm not even looking here because these candles are going up. I'm looking right here where candles are. And now as I'm looking here, I'm looking left, right? And I say, okay, these candles kind of line up in that same point. And I keep going left. And I say, oh man, these candles kind of line up in that same area too. Oh wow, keep going left. These candles as well. These candles touch, all this. So watch what happens when I put this line. Put the line right here. I don't put it at the wick, right? I can put it at the wick. It's not gonna hurt, all right? But I put it at the body, right? Just right there at the body. Boom. There's my resistance. So now I got that, all right? And what I notice, I got a touch. That's 1 touch. I got 2 touch. I got 3 touch, even got 4 touch here. All right. So we can count this one too. Even though it's above it, it's still a touch on that resistance line. All right. All right. Welcome, welcome. So I still got a touch, right? So I got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch right here, 4 touch right here, 5 touch, right? I'm already past the requirement. We need multiple touches, and I mean 2 or more. So 3 is the best, right? But if you got 2 or more touches, you good. This is it, guys. This is it right here. 2 touches, you got your supported resistance. 2 touches. 3 is better, right? Because it shows, y'all know how that goes, right? The more something happens, obviously, the better. You know what I'm saying? If it touched that thing 1,000 times, well, you're gonna say, okay, that thing is strong, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if most people can't rip a phone book, right? But if you knew a girl or a guy who could constantly rip a phone book, you're gonna be like, oh shit, they the real deal. They really strong, right? Ain't nobody gonna be able to mess with them in regards to something dealing with their hands and ripping up phone books or whatever, right? But if you can't rip that phone book, right, then that's also another baseline or indication, right? You're not strong enough, right? That's what these support and resistance lines are all about. It's showing you how strong that area is or how weak that area is. So please understand that. All right. Please understand that. This resistance.
So Bain,
Yeah.
the multiple touch points, you would include the wicks as well,
Yes, I can. I can
or
absolutely
just the
include the wicks.
bodies?
So normally what I do, right, is I won't really put the line, right? I'll put more of a zone, right? So I'll do something like that, right? And I can drag this all the way out over here like this, right? Now you see how that kind of covers the wicks? You see how the wicks kind of touching that zone? So that's really, you know, kind of how, you know, I mark it out sometimes. And again, it's just for me, right? You know what I mean? Because I know that support and resistance is a zone because we get these wicks, right? These wicks are always like happening because of the tug of war. So I'm sent to the back. Okay, boom. So now you can kind of see the wicks a little bit. I'm gonna just zoom in real quick. But the reason why I don't just go solely off the line is because of the wicks, because I know price can shoot up even though the candle didn't close up here, right? This is still an area of where price got to. You feel me? This is wick right here. You can't see it because it's red on red, but let me try to dim this down a little bit. Okay, there it is. So now you can kind of see the wick. So yeah, it pushed up. So like if I was gonna sell, right when price got to this line, I would be, it wouldn't be the best thing to do, or it wouldn't be best to like solely count on this line, because look, it could come out here, right? Like what if my stop loss was right behind this line? Well, guess what? It stopped me out and then it went in my favor. I'm telling you guys right now, this happens. This is where Forex traders, this is where they hang up the towel. This is where they throw in the towel, and this is where they hang it up, because they get into a trade and they set a stop loss, right? That's just a few pips, but behind where they thought their support or resistance zone was, right? But they going off, they go off a point, right? They're not going off a zone, like an area. They're not going off of that. They're not counting these wicks. They're just trying to count the body. And this is the downfall of just counting the body. You need to include the wicks as well, right? You need, whether you draw this, whether you draw this out, like whether you draw a horizontal line, whether you draw this zone, whether you draw it or don't draw it, you have to visually see that these wicks got to this point. So you need to know that price can still get to that point because it did it in the past. If a person who was 4 feet, you know, Muggsy Bowl, whoever y'all can think of, dunked on an NBA rim one time, would you say that that person is never going to be able to do that again? You can't say that, because they done proved to you that they can do it. They done proved to you that they can dunk that on that NBA rim at 4 feet tall. So you can't count them out. You can't be like, oh man, that was luck. You know, you just got that one time. You're like, oh yeah, okay, boom, do it again. Do it again. So now you know that you cannot underestimate how high this person can go, because you've seen where he's gotten to. You've seen the height that he's reached. So now you know if he was to jump any amount, he can get at least that high. And that's what the wicks are all about. You have to take those into consideration and say, okay, price can get up to this point. So if I'm going to have a stop loss, I want my stop loss behind that point. You understand me? I don't want my stop loss anywhere in that wick area, because it could just come and wick me out again, and I'll lose the trade when the trade really went in my favor. I'm telling you, so many traders, they get out the game right here, right there at that very moment. They get 2 or 3 trades, maybe the whole week. The whole week they've been placing trades, and they get, you know, they trade gets closed or they lose the trade, and then they go and they look at it again, and they look at the chart and they say, price tanked, price fell. I was in a sell. Why didn't I make any money? Because they didn't have their stop loss in the place outside of the zone, right? Away from the zone of where the highest of where price went to. They didn't have that, they stop loss there. So I'm not going to do this. If this is my resistance zone, and again, what do we do at resistance? We sell at resistance. So if I'm going to sell from right here, I'm not going to have my stop loss right here. I'm not going to have my stop loss right there. I'm not going to have my stop loss right here. I'm going to have my stop loss anywhere above this zone, because there is no wick in this zone. No wick in this zone, right? There's nothing here. Price, this is telling me price hasn't gotten here. You understand what I'm saying? This is where you can survive the trade when it's going against you, right? So as it's going against you, like if you put your stop loss right here in this zone, right? You saying, okay, well, this is above the wick, Bain. You saying this, you know, just put it above the wick. Okay, well, guess what? you'll probably still be right. You will probably, the price will play around all up in this zone, and it'll get right, it'll get very close. It'll just be pushing, 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 pushing. It looked like it's gonna touch it, but it doesn't, and then finally price goes and tanks down. And you be like, oh shit. Okay, maybe there's something to this thing. Maybe maybe it's something. Maybe there is. You're just gonna start seeing it. It's cake. It's cake, guys. It is cake. I mean, really. All right, let's get back to it. So we got our touches. All right. So boom, here we go. I'm gonna just light this up, make this all pretty.
Oh, Ben, I had one other question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're doing the support and resistance, what are the time frames that we should be focusing on? The day, I see that you're doing that. I guess that's to
Great.
go ahead. Just
Great question. And I love when you guys ask questions, because I'm telling you, other people are thinking about the same thing. Maybe they don't want to ask it, or whatever, but they're thinking this, and you guys asking it is helping them get the answer. So like, to anybody who's not really talking or speaking anything like that, and then we explain this, they go, oh, okay, nice, nice, nice. I get that. I got that. But great question. Here's the answer, right? So it depends. What time frame you use depends on the kind of trader that you are, right? You got three type of traders. You have swing traders, you have day traders, you have scalpers. Okay, top three traders in any asset class of trading, right? And when you're trading, you're swingers. All right, those are the people who hold trades for weeks, months, and longer. Okay, your day traders. These are the people who want to make their money within 24 hours, right? So from Monday to Tuesday, they expected to have their money in that day. Maybe even 2 days, right? No longer than a week. They won't hold it no longer than a week for sure. Like 1 or 2 days, they'll be in that trade and they'll be out of that trade. Your scalpers. These are the people who want to make money in the next 15 minutes, right? They get into a trade, 15 minutes goes by, 5 minutes goes by, they have already closed their trade and taken a L or they W, whichever one came. Okay. So to answer your question, you have to know what kind of trader are you. Okay. Let me just ask you, what kind of trader do you think you are? Do you think you're a swing trader? Do you think you're a day trader? Or do you think you're a scalper? Just by you knowing you and how you would like to go about this Forex thing. What kind of trader do you think you are? So I can tell you what times to look at.
I would say a day trader.
Boom. All right. So for day traders, you look at the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. Bias, find the trend, confirm your trend, enter the trade. All right, but you can still use all of these lower time frames, but you really want to start on the day time frame, because the day time frame tells you what happened in the previous day, right? We went over that a little bit, where I told you, this particular candle, we always going off the previous candle. So this candle, right, it got as high as here and it got as low as there. So if you want to make our ceiling in our roof, this is not really supporting resistance, okay? So don't get it confused. This is just the high and the low of the previous candle. All right. Don't get that confused, guys, with support and resistance. You can think of it as support and resistance or a form of support and resistance, but it is not your actual support and resistance, because this is just one touch. Okay. That's what separates that. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying right now. This is just the high point. This is just a low point. This isn't a support and resistance zone and area and things like that. So, with the scenario I was talking about with, Muggsy Bogues dunking, right? The rim is 12 feet and he just made it to dunk that, so the highest he can get to is 12 feet. And then obviously the lowest is, 12 feet below or whatever, right? You know what I mean? But, we're not going down on anything. So, it won't make any sense. But this is just saying this is the highest and that's the lowest. That's it. That price went to that day. On Friday, this is the highest and the lowest prices got into in that day. So the next day, we know that, like, let's just say price is right here, right? At the lowest point it went, right? We can just take an educated, we can assume, right? Usually if you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. But in Forex, you don't really make an ass out of yourself in assuming, right? You see that this is the lowest prices gotten to yesterday, right? And it kind of, Look, this day it respected that area. This day it respected that area. And this day it respected that area as well. So look at this. All 4 of these days, almost all last week, I could just drag this out. Boom. Right? I could just drag this out. My wife is messing with me, so she trying to throw me off, but I'm gonna have to see her when this is all over. But here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Each one of these represents a day, one a day chart. So we got 5 candles, right? Each one of these candles have stayed in the zone, right? It stayed and it's within this highest point and this lowest point. So who's not going to assume that price is most likely going to stay somewhere in between these two numbers going into next week, right? I'm going to assume that, right? So this is at right now, price is in the middle, right? So this candle is a bull candle. It opened here, it closed here. So price is just kind of in the middle right now. So if I want to go in for a buy, I know that I can probably get to right here. If I want to get in for a sell, I know that I probably want to make my sell, take my profit somewhere right here, just off of knowing what the previous range was of the previous day. And again, I told you guys, this is critical to know what was the high and the low, or, really the high and the low, not the open and the close, but the high and the low, right, of the previous day, because that's going to give you your range of price, right? It's not saying that price is going to respect that, right? But you can just kind of assume that it's going to move within that range, because that's what it did yesterday. All right. That's what it's all about. All right. Just looking back at yesterday. We do a lot of looking left, looking in the past. That's what that means. We do a lot of that in Forex. It's part of how you gather a bias and gain perspective on where price can possibly go, where it can get to. Right. And once you start having those things, it becomes, I'm telling y'all, it's going to seem like, how did y'all not know about this before? How did y'all not figure this out before? Because y'all didn't have anybody to explain it to you the way, that you needed it to be explained, to where that light bulb came on. And you was like, oh my God, what? This is stupid easy. It's easy, guys. All right. So this previous candle, we got the high, we got the low, not supporting resistance, just the highest point it got to, the lowest point it got to. It can break this lowest point. Because look at here. This was at one point, if we're going over this candle, this was the highest it got to in that day. This is the lowest it got to in that day, right? But then guess what happened? So I'm gonna just mark this out. Boom. Boom. That was the range. So for 1, 2, 3, roughly 2 days, for just 2 days, it stayed within that range. But on the third day, it broke out of that range. 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, it just kept taking off. So now this range was no longer valid. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why we go off of the previous day. So if you go off of this day, well, the highest, this was the highest, and this was the lowest, which still came from the range of the candle before it. Now we go off, if we're going on this candle, then we're saying, okay, this was the highest, the wick, this was the highest, and this was the lowest. It's still hitting the range, right? So we still in there. So now we look at this one. This was the highest, and this was the lowest. So guess what? This candle kind of respected this for a little bit, right? But it broke out of it here. It stayed in the range over here, right? But it broke out of it here. And now we just kept, we kept breaking the ranges, right? But the range just gives you an idea, okay? Looking at the previous candle, we always just go to the day candle, because everybody's looking at the day candle. What happened yesterday, right? So Friday, everybody's saying, okay, what happened Friday? Well, here's our range, right? It went as high as here. It went as low as here. That's it. So now, does that give us our support and resistance? No, it doesn't. It's just telling you that if price happens to be anywhere within this range, right, it's most likely to get its highest here and its lowest here, because that's what it did yesterday. Please remember that, guys. Please take that serious. All right. That's going to give you a leg up. It's going to give you an edge, and it's going to help you demystify all this stuff that you thought was complicated in Forex. All right. Let's get back to support and resistance, right? Boom. Remove all the drawings. Go out. So answer your question. Daily time frame, you're looking for your trend. 4-hour time frame, you're looking to confirm your trend. 1-hour time frame is where you're looking to get in. You can use all the lower time frame. You don't have, this is not a strictler thing, right? You don't have to only look at the day, only look at the 4-hour, only look at the 1 hour. It's just typically a day trader, those are the time frames that they're looking at. Because again, you don't need anything that's giving you weekly data and monthly data, because you're not going to stay in the trade for the week. You're not going to stay in the trade for the month. You're going to stay in the trade for the day. So as you're looking at the day, right? If I'm just highlighting this whole candle right here, right? Boom. If I just do that, okay, it won't get right on it. Right? I'm just looking at that one candle. So we go to the 4-hour. Look, this is all the whole day. This whole little section right here. Right? So I'm gonna just map it off. Boom. Got it right here. 23rd to right here. 25th. So, really I could bring this in. 23rd, 24th. Boom. There's your day. Right? This is all you're looking at right here. Let me dim this down. Okay, boom. Right? So here's your whole day from this purple line to this purple line. You can see down here, the 24th to the 25th, right? So when you looked at the day chart, you was just really looking at this, right? This candle and this candle, right? Just kind of these two candles, right? So you drew your highest point of this candle and you drew your lowest point of this candle, right? So to get your range, right? So now you go down to the 4-hour. And first on the daily, you're saying to yourself, okay, this is a bull candle, right? So, or really, you're looking at the previous. So yesterday, this was a red candle. So price was down all of yesterday, right? So when you look at the overall chart, right, does price look like it was up or down? Well, it looks like it was up, right? The overall movement of the candles were up. All right. So this is what you see. You see price has gone up. All right, that's that. This is your bias, up. All right, you go to the 4-hour, reset the chart. Okay, now you get more details. And look, I can make this trend line finer. I can make the trend line actually touch the candles from this low. Boom, bring this, and now look, I just try to make it touch as many candles as possible, because trend lines are nothing but diagonal support and resistance. So that same concept that we were trying to bring earlier about making sure you have multiple touches on the line, it's the same thing for a trend line. It's just diagonal. That's the only difference, guys. Support and resistance. You got your horizontal support and resistance, which just go, like this. And then you got your diagonal support and resistance, which we call trend lines. Not difficult, guys. Not difficult at all, right? You're just looking at this sideways, okay? Because price is going up. It's not going sideways. All right, so price is going up. You see this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Just keep making higher highs and higher lows, right? So on the daily, you're saying to yourself, okay, price looks like it's going up. On the 4-hour, you get more detail. Price looks like it's going up. So now on the 1-hour time frame, you're looking to see something on the charts that's giving you an indication that you should buy. Okay, so what that is, or what that would be, okay, is I'm looking right here. I see price bounced off the trend line, right? And this is the highest it got. So now price is kind of pulling back, right? It's kind of coming down, right? But you can clearly see from the day time frame and the 4-hour time frame that price has been going up. So in your head, you got to keep that there. Price has been going up. You can't say price has been going down. You got to say it's been going up. So you want to get in on the side of a buy. You want to get with the tide, right? You want to be rolling with the tide, not against the tide. Right? You want to, the trend is your friend. You want to get with the trend. Daytime frame showed you up. 4-hour time frame showed you up. So now you're going to be looking for a buy, right? But now, how do you know, right? This is where support and resistance comes in. So watch this. I'm going to reset this whole chart, and I'm going to just draw my support and resistance, and I'm going to break it down. Boom. So I see these little levels right here. Boom, that's my resistance. All right. And I'm looking again, and I see right here. Boom, that's my support. Okay. So I'm going to draw that green. Boom. All right. So I already knew that I had this. Price has been moving up, right? That's my little trend line. All right. Come down to my 4-hour. Reset the chart. Okay. I see price has been going up. I'm gonna just make this touch. All right, boom, just touch the candles, come down, touch the candles. So I got my touches. Here's my 1 touch, here's my 2 touch, here's my 3 touch, right there with that wick. Again, we count the wicks because this is where price got to, right? Even though it didn't close here, this is where it got to. All right. So now, guess what? I see prices at a resistance zone. right? So do we buy at resistance? No, we don't. We sell at resistance. All right. And because price, every time price touched this line, it went up, touch the line, went up, touch the line, went up. What do you guys think I'm expecting to be able to get into a buy? Somebody tell me. Price touched this line, went up.
At the
Price,
bottom,
say it again. What did you say?
you said to say it one more time.
What do you guys think what am I looking to happen in order to get into a buy? So let me say this first. That's the question. What am I looking for to get into a buy? But let me say this. Price touched this line, it went up. Price touched this line, it went up. Price touched this line, it went up. What am I looking for to happen?
So it needs to touch the support again,
Thank you.
or the trend line.
That is support. It's just diagonal. And this is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Support and resistance is easy, man. It's just you got your trend lines. They're just diagonal support and resistance. Your regular support and resistance are just
Okay.
horizontal.
Okay.
You with me now? So you're absolutely right. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for price to come and touch this horizontal line right here. Just touch this line. Come and touch this line. Because price has got to come down to do that, right? So when it does that, I'm going to be looking to buy. Because again, yeah, this is support, right? But I'm not really counting this support right now because of the trend line. So I have a support right here. I have an earlier support than I have the support right here, right? That's what that is. Now, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the candles to come down here and then start coming up, okay? Or I'm looking for the candles to come down here and then start going up. Why right here? Because look, when it got right here, last time it got to this little point right here, what did it do? Shot up. Okay. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Right. And again, when you guys come tonight, if you guys come tonight and you see the live trading, you're gonna see how I'm just waiting for a lot of these things are already set up. Let me give you an example of one of them right now. So let's pull something that I posted um, here. So boom, our baby, right? Our Euro USD. I marked it as 5 stars. Let's see why. Pull it up. Euro USD. Look at that. Got my zones already, got my support and resistance already marked. Can somebody tell me where this candle is right now? Let me just go to where y'all can see it a little better.
Just real quick on
Yeah.
your, I see you have multiple support and resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the different time frames that you? Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. So like on the daily time frame, because again, you get to see the picture better, right? Look at that. Look at all this. You know what I'm saying? Like you can easily see, look at this level, right? Like all these candles, they just kept coming here, right? Kept coming here. Yeah, right? All up in here. Just kept coming here, right? They just been playing around in this little area. So I put my resistance line right here. And then I came down, right? So this one and this one, right? They stood out. All right. Now this one is a little, so it was really here. So if I take this away, right? Boom. So it was really like this. So it's really like that. So you can see that, right? And I take this away too. I don't need it right now, right? This was my support and resistance, right? Now I'm putting it down here because this is the most recent. Like that's why I had a support line down here, right? But here's, where I could visually see, right? And here's another level right here too. But I don't need to put it there because price is all the way down here, right? So these levels, even if I put it, they won't be relevant because price is not up here. So yeah, I made a lot of support and resistance lines, but I'm only really checking out the ones that are relevant, right? You know what I'm saying? So even this one isn't relevant just yet. But if price breaks above this resistance line, which it is right now, it's a resistance right now, and the reason why it's resistance because the candles are below it. All right, we went over that. But if it breaks above this resistance line, this line will become support, and now this will be my resistance area, right? But that's that. So let me Just put everything back. All right, boom. This is where we were. So now I'm going to go to my 1 hour time frame. Can anybody tell me where price is right now? Does anybody know where price is?
At resistance?
At resistance. It is exactly at my resistance zone. What do we do at resistance? Somebody tell me.
Sell.
That's right. We sell at resistance. So what do you guys think I'm expecting? Okay. So now we can see that price is here, and now I got my little trend line. All right. And then this is something from earlier that I said about trend lines. What do you guys think I'm expecting? Well, actually now, so looking at it, just this is why you come down to the lower time frame to get more detail. Now, this candle has broken my resistance line. And look, here is actually, respected it now, right? And this is what happens when you draw out valid support and resistance line. The candles just respect them to the absolute point, to the T, right? It just respects them so much. And you guys start saying, damn, it respects it so much. So now you get to become psychic. You get to know that when price gets to those zones, it's going to respect it in one way or another, right? Where it doesn't break it, or it does break it, but then it comes and retests right back at that same area. You guys are going to see this stuff is going to get nuts, right? So right now, it's above my resistance zone. So can somebody tell me, when price breaks resistance, what happens to resistance?
It becomes support.
Boom. There it is. So now it is support. So now we got the break of resistance. Now it's new support. And now we got the retest, right? This is our candle coming back and testing resistance. So we don't have a lot of details on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. Boom. Now you guys can see way more candles and what it did. Okay. And these candles are ranging right now, right? So what do I normally do? Get my little box, draw it out, boom, right? I put it at the wick, the highest where it went to, and then I put it at the bottom of the wick, boom, right there, the lowest it got to, right? I'm gonna make this yellow because that's usually how I do my consolidation boxes, right? Boom. So now I would have my alert right outside this box, but I have it up here, right? And then I have my sell alert down here, right? But this is because I wanted, on the higher time frame, I wanted price to break below this trend line, and then I wanted it to break here. So if it broke here, I would absolutely know that there's sellers in the market, because it has to come all the way down here, break my alert me. So right here, I know it's game time, right? I know for a fact that if I hit sell, the chances of it coming back against me is highly unlikely. All right. And plus, because of this consolidation, it would have broke out of here. And I told you all about that the last time we had a meeting. When price breaks out of this little consolidation area, whichever direction it breaks out of, 90% of the time, it's going to continue going in that direction of where it broke out of, right? But from a higher time frame, you see, I'm ready for wherever this wants to go. So from the 1 hour, again, this is kind of where I pull the trigger, right? Right. So I'm seeing already a momentum loss. This candle's big, then it gets smaller, then it gets smaller, then it gets smaller. And now you can hardly even see this, right? You got to go down to the 15-minute to even see these two little candles right here, right? So we got a loss of momentum coming into resistance, right? Which is support at the moment, right? So price can absolutely break out of here and, start going up, right? And we got nothing but space and opportunity for it to continue going up, right? Because here's our next resistance. It's really right here, right? Right at the candle, right? But this one came from the higher time frame. So I could even put another little support line. I'm sorry, resistance line right here. Boom, right? Color that red. So we don't make no mistake about it. But that's my resistance line. Why? Because price kept coming here and then it fell. It got there, then it fell. Right here, did a little dancing or whatever, right? But even over here, so here it was this resistance line. I mean, this line was acting as resistance, but over here in this past, the line was acting as support, the same line. And that's another thing that makes support and resistance powerful. And you can see it in the chat. If you look at it, it says acted as both support and resistance. And that's what this line did. Right here, it acted as resistance. But over here, it acted as support. This is beautiful, guys. It becomes poetry in motion, something that you guys can easily, visibly see with no real like being confused about it. This is a level. Y'all see that? Look at the candle. Bounce, 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 bounce. Then we broke it. So when we break support, I mean, when we break resistance, or this would have been support at the time, but when we break support, it now becomes resistance. So look, it did all this dancing going down, made another level, okay, right? And now it came up. Just y'all gonna see, man. This is just gonna be stupid, but here it is, right? So I got my level, and we're at resistance. So just go down to the 15-minute, you know, get our look at it all better and everything like that. But boom, this is how I know this trade is ready to go, right? If it breaks out of here, like I could just move my alert down to here, right? But I got my reasons, right? So if it breaks out of here and it breaks this alert, it's going to go up. But I'm not really expecting the Euro USD to go up because of what's going on. Like I'm hit with the news, and on top of that, this is really like my resistance area. Even though it broke above it with these two little candles, this is still where price got up to my resistance, right? So I'm looking to sell. Now, if price shows me that it's not going to fall, right, then obviously I'm going to be looking to buy. And what would I be needing to look for to buy? I'll be looking for the break and the retest, which I kind of have right now. But again, this could just be a little fake out, right? They just get you to think that they're about to go up, and then boom, they hit you coming down. This is why we sit on our hands. Like we wait for a price to get to support or resistance, and we wait. We absolutely wait. We don't, if it's at support or resistance, we don't just hit buy or just hit sell. We need to see that buyers and sellers are coming in. And this is, you only know that by what the candles show you when they close. This is why you need to understand how to read a candle. Because if you know where it opened and it closed at, well, now you know if a candle closes below this trend line, then we know that the sellers have came in because this price is continuously going up. Now it's not. Now the sellers have brought it down and they've changed the structure. And we at resistance. Oh boy, we got two things, two confluences, two confirmations that we have enough sellers in the market. So we will absolutely sell this thing. And guess what? Price was probably going to go to support. And why is price going to go to support, man? Like you keep saying that. You like, okay, like how are you so psychic that price is going to go to support? You know, tell me. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. Right click, reset. Because when you make out your levels, right? When you create your support and resistance levels, you're not just creating it because you just feel like putting it there. You're creating it because you look left and you saw that price was there before, right? So price was here and then it took off, right? Price was here. Look at that. Price was here, took off. Price was here, took off. Price was here, took off. That's how I know. You understand me? That's what support and resistance is all about. Giving you your places where the price is most likely going to turn around from, right? It's not 100% of the time that when it gets there, it turns around because it breaks, right? But you got to see what it's going to do first. So right here, yes, I want to get in for a sell on the Euro USD because I know in the news from fundamental analytics, I know that all of NATO, the allies of NATO, right, with the United States being a part of NATO, all their allies have denied Russia from the Swiss banks, right? So they got about like 200 billion worth of assets tied up into the Swiss central bank. So if they put sanctions on Russia, where Russia can't use that money to fund their war and to keep their war alive, well, guess what? Their currency will fall, and their currency is in euros, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm expecting the price to fall, but it could do anything. So I'm waiting to see what the candles show me. So we simply, I mean, guys, I meant to
Does
say this in the,
Forex do live?
what do you mean?
I'm sorry, is it live? Or because I know with under options they have like a 15-minute delay
Oh, the data, yes,
when they
the
give
data.
you the information. Yeah.
Yeah, the data in Forex is live. With stocks, a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of times you have to pay to add the live data to see exactly where price is with stocks. So sometimes, if you sign up for a broker account that allows you to trade stocks or invest in stocks, the price that you're looking at is delayed, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something below 15 minutes. So you may be looking at Apple at $100, but it's really at $102, but you can't see that, right? So you're not too far off, but you know, you want to be on the money. Like you want to have that live data, so you know, okay, well, I'm really getting in at $102, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you think you want to go and buy Apple share, you think you're about to buy it at $100 because that's what you see on the chart, but it actually says, oh, you're buying it for $102. So when you see it add up, you know, saying, okay, we're going to charge you $102. You're going to be like, what? Why are you charging me $102? It's a share of Apple is only $100. Well, you don't have the latest data, right? So that's live data. Like they charge like almost less than $2 a month, something like that, to get live data of where the price is for a particular asset on whatever broker platform you're using, right? But in Forex, we don't, that's not the case. You always get the live data. Like wherever the price is where the price is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. It's not a company, it's a country. You know what I'm saying? So like the price is there. Like whatever it is, that's what it actually is for the actual moment. Because you got to think about it. If you go out of town, like you go, you know, to Europe right now, and you in the airport and you want to exchange your money, well, you have to know what the currency rate is right at that very moment in time. And that same exchange rate is listed here when you pull up the pair. It's that same thing. They're looking at the same exact thing. So the numbers can't be off, right? You know what I'm saying? Because then the traders like us who are looking at the currency pair, that's not going to be fair to us to where we're getting delayed information when in real life you guys are showing them what the actual numbers is. Like y'all cheating us, right? But and every trader in Forex will be in an uproar about that. So that's not what the case is with Forex. You get the real live numbers, okay? But uh the market is closed right now. It'll be open in about 2 to 3 hours or so. But here, you know, on my 15-minute, I'm seeing that price is broken above that little resistance line. But again, I don't treat it as a line, I treat it as an area. So if I really draw out my support and resistance, right, it kind of looks like this. Okay, looks like that. You see how I get that wick now in there, and you see, like, you know, it's just that's what my support and resistance zones would look like, right? They would look more like this. Okay, that way I'm looking for price. That's why my alert is right here, right? It's higher than just being right here at this line. So if price breaks above here, well, now I know there's more buyers in the market, and I'll probably be looking to get in for a buy on the euro, and then, you know, get my profit, you know, take out my profit when it gets to right here. But I'm expecting the euro to fall. Okay, I know it can go up. All right, and nothing's set in stone, but that's how I'm looking at it, right? So again, just support and resistance. Let me just put just the two lines that we need for now. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Don't need this, don't need that, and kind of really don't need that. So just this two right here, the support and resistance. Why Bain? All right, price touched it right here. Let me get rid of this and my trend line. Boom. So Bain, I don't understand. Why did you put your resistance line right there? Okay, because one, this is where the price currently is, right? So I'm coming to the most recent point, and I see, okay, price is touching right here, right? Yeah, this isn't like a level with these two candles, right? But I'm looking at the whole chart. You understand me? So I can see right here, price came down to here and it reversed. Came down to here, it reversed, right? Came here, it broke it. So I know I got another level down here, but this isn't where price is. So I'm not really concerned about this level down here. I could draw it, but you know, it's nowhere near this right now. So again, hit it the wick hit that line and it went. So I got my touches, right? So here I got my one touch in this area. I got technically another touch right here, right? I got another touch right there. Got another touch right here. You know, it's not wicking off of it anything, but I can tell that if I go to a lower time frame, right, I can see, boom, you see that wick? Took off. See that wick? Took off. This one took off. All right. And then here, even here, like it's touching it when it's acting as resistance. Right? Boom, 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 boom. All right. But that's why I drew it, right? That's why I drew it on the daily time frame. All right. So this like the way you're saying it, it's not for this time frame, right? So my real resistance will be up here somewhere, like right here. That's where my real resistance will be for this daily time frame. So this resistance that you're seeing is more on the lower time frames. Okay, so I come here and boom, right? It's kind of like right here. Let me just get rid of this. Get rid of this. This is in the past. All right. So I can see when I put my resistance, I mean my support line here, I can see price came, reverse, came and reverse, right? So it was acting as resistance at one point, and then it broke it, and I respected it with the retest. So this is now my resistance. I mean, this is now my support. It used to be resistance with the candles all below it. Used to be my resistance, but now the candles are above it, and it's my support. So here again, had a little level, right, and then price broke that level, right? So here we're back at it, right? So here's my touch. Here's my touch. That's 2 touches, right? I can keep going and looking left, and I'm sure here's my other touch. That's my third, my fourth, my fifth, my sixth, right? So I put that there because I see when I went to the lower time frame that I have more levels, okay? And you just put those lines in between those levels, and then you rock with that. So here, these are the 2 levels, right? And when we're looking for a trade, we just want price to be at these levels. Right here, price is in the middle. Right here, this candle, price is in the middle of the level, right? Even right here, these candles are in the middle of the level, right? But right here is where we wanted to start looking for a buy, but we didn't get the buy, right? We got the sell. It broke support, and then it took off. This is so right here, I'm just waiting. Yeah, I want it to sell. I believe it's going to fall, right? That's my, that's what my bias is from the news and things like that. And because it's at my resistance zone, right? I want to sell. I don't really want to buy, but if it happens to break this resistance and it gets to my alert, I'm going to know that the buyers are in, and I'm going to buy it. And so my next little level is right here somewhere. If we're talking just on the 1 hour time frame, my next little level is like right here. And why? Because again, you can see, like, look at all these touches. Touch, right? Touch, 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 right? I can move it up a little bit, but again, it's not just a line, it's an area. So instead of me doing that, usually I would do this. Take my rectangle, capture that body, boom, and I would bring it. I wouldn't take up everything. I'll just bring the wicks and just the initial turn, right? So now I know that's my zone. So here it is. I get in for that buy if it happens to break resistance and it hits my alert. So I'm going to get in for a buy right here. And then I'm going to either take my profit when it gets to here, or I'm going to take my profit when it gets to here, or I'm going to take my profit when it gets all up in this zone right here. Simple, guys. Easy. Easy. Levels, support and resistance. You will make money, I promise you. When you can do it blindly, okay? Not what I recommend, obviously, right? But you can do this blindly where you sell at resistance and you buy at your support zones, and you will be surprised that you will be, by the time you check your trade, you'll be in profit, right? Now, how long you keep it open, or where you put your stop loss and all of this and that, right? Those things can get you in, have you out of the trade where you lose in, or you might take a loss or something like that, right? But for a certain amount of time, you were definitely right, right? You probably could have been right off of right here, right? But then you say, you know what? I think it's going to get right here. So what really happened was you got in for a buy, right? It went right here, and then after it got here, it just started coming down and it started tanking. So you waited, right? You were waiting for it to get up here, right? You was like, okay, this thing's shooting up. I'm gonna wait for it to get in my big zone, right? So you waited. It played with your emotions, made you think, oh, we're gonna go up there, oh, nah. So now you didn't lock in your profits. So you lost this trade. You mad, right? You upset. You lost that money because you knew at some point you were in the green, right? But were you wrong? Nope. You weren't wrong, right? And this is where managing the trade comes in, right? After we know all of this basic stuff of buying that support, selling that resistance, really kind of waiting on our hands, and then waiting for the candles, which we learned about and from the jump, learning about the candles, what they do and how they come in to know that buyers and sellers have came in now that price is at our zone, right? You're going to get in and you're going to be right. But how long are you going to be right? Right? You know what I'm saying? How long are you going to be right? Yeah, price is going down. How far is it going to go down? This is where you need to know about your swings, right? Your swings are just basically where price turned around. This is a swing. Price went up, 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 then it went down. That's a swing, and they always look like the letter V most of the time, right? This one is kind of curved like a U or something like that. But regardless, like you can see the V right here. Boom, that's a V, right? Down here, boom, that's a V. Even here, boom, that's a V, right? This is all we looking for, guys. We're looking for support and resistance, right? We're looking for price to get to support or resistance, right? Once it gets there, then we're looking for the buyers or the sellers to come in by what the candles do, like how the candle closes. All right. Did it close with a lot of body or did it close with a lot of wick? Because if it closed with a lot of wick, then you got to be careful because you don't really know who's taking over, right? It's a tug of war, right? That wick is saying, oh, buyers were in there strong, but then sellers were in there strong, right? Sellers were in there strong, then buyers came in. It's like, oh, we don't really know. So you want to go off of candles that have strong bodies because that tells you, oh, the bears weren't in control. The bulls completely had this thing. Or the bulls weren't in control. The bears completely control this thing, right? It's like one of those. If you watch a real life tug of war, it's like when the referee blow the whistle, 1, 2, 3, he blow the whistle, and then that one side just go boom, and then everybody on the other side fall. What you finna say? Was you gonna say that was even a competition? No, you're gonna be like, man, team B, they just drugged them. They just had them all falling in the mud. And like once the ref said go, so y'all gonna know, okay, that team's definitely stronger than that team, right? And the same vice versa. If the referee hit the whistle, whoop, and then the sellers just drug and they pushed all the buyers down to the ground in like 2 to 3 seconds, you gonna know they way stronger. So if you was to join the team, if you was to join one of those sides, which side would you want to join? Come on now, like it's not it's not difficult, man. Y'all gonna get on the side, the strong side, and that's what y'all looking for on the charts. This is a tug of war that y'all looking at. This is a digital tug of war. That's all this is. And then you're looking to see, okay, who's stronger, right? Not only are you really looking to see who's stronger, but you wanting to make sure that they're in the area that they need to be in to determine that they're strong, that they're strong, right? Or weak, right? So you need them to be in your support or resistance areas. That's it, guys. That is it. Okay. Just start going off of support and resistance, and y'all are gonna see a big difference in y'all trading right off the bat. Because people don't even know about this. They just really guessing. I'm telling you, they don't know. They don't know that it's even a valid support or resistance, right? Sometimes they draw like support, like they'll draw support right here, right in the middle, right? And it kind of looks like maybe sorta, but it's not valid because it's not a major swing point. You understand me? Most of the support and resistance is at the major swing points. Look at this. Swing, 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 swing. You get what I'm saying? Like here's another little area, right? So this is a swing area right here before this swing area. And y'all can kind of start seeing it. Oh, okay, it got there and it reversed. Okay, okay. I get it. Oh, it got there and then it reversed. I get it. So, okay, Bain, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so boom. Let me pull up the 4-hour chart. Let me see what I can see. Okay. Oh, look at this. I see this thing right here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I'm gonna put a little level right there, right? I'm gonna put it a little bit here. Maybe I'll grab the wick, maybe not. It doesn't, you have the visual. You know that it went that far, right? And you're gonna make this green. All right, boom. There it is, right? Why did you put that? Because price came down here and then it reversed. Price came up here and then it reversed. You're looking for swings. That's all swings are, is when price just starts going in the opposite direction. It's not hard, guys. Look, I'm going to just drag this out. I put this here, right? But let me drag it out. Boom, right? Look at this. What happened? It got there, took off. Let's drag this out. It got there, wicked out a little bit on you, right? Right? Wicked out. So we could have really put, our zone could have just been a little deeper, but regardless, got up in here and then took off. Let me see what happens if I bring it out a little more. Oh my goodness. Look at this. boom, up, boom, up, boom, up, boom, up. Guys, listen to me, all right? Don't don't overcomplicate this thing. Don't overcomplicate this thing. Look at this thing like your little playground. All right. This is a little playground. Like we doing our kids' homework, right? Homework says find the level. All right. We come in. Oh, okay. Okay, I see a little level. Boom. Here we go. Right? Bing. Can y'all see that? Y'all look, all these candles. Boom, 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 boom. Broke it a little bit. That's okay. We coming back. Boom, boom, and touched it. All right. Anybody see another level? Okay, yeah. I see another little level, right? We could take it right here. Why? Because this swing came down and then it immediately reversed. This is a candle pattern right here. This is a major candle pattern, a textbook candle pattern. But regardless, we'll get into it. But boom, you saw that level right there. You see any other level? Oh, yeah. I do. I see where price kind of like came and it swung right here, right? Bing. Put my little thing right there, right? So boom, it came right here, it swung, right? So now these haven't really touched it, but these are another level, right? But you start seeing these levels clearly when you go down to the lower time frame, right? Because you got more candles now, right? That's what that's all about. So now you see this level right here, right? So you can either draw your line or you can draw your area like I do. Boom. Do a little area like that. Boom. Now you see. So all this time, like if price that came here, you knew that once price got here, you finna start looking for a buy. Why? Because this is what it did before. Got here, took off. Got here, took off. Got here, took off. It's been telling you what it's been doing. So why would you not consider that? Why would you not think about that? Like, why would you just rule that out? Oh, yeah, just because it got in this area doesn't mean it's going to go up. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That doesn't automatically mean it's going to go up. But it did this in the past. So I'm just going to take a little, take a little hunch. I'm going to just say, hey, you know what? It's been doing this. It's been sunny. Today is a beautiful day in Florida. It's a perfect day to be in the pool. Right. And this is what I'm used to in Florida. Sunny days. Right. I bet the house on, okay, the next day going to be a sunny day. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if it happens to be a rainy day, well, hell, obviously, I'm going to lose. But like, I'm going to know like, that was just fugazi. Right. Because the next day the sun will be back out. And I'd be like, see, I knew it. That was just a little hiccup because of what the past had represented. Y'all got to understand this past stuff about what happened with the charts is your bread and butter. It is your bread and butter. Okay, look at this. Look at this right here. This is my support, right? That I looked at from the higher time frame, right? This little boom. All I said was I put support right here because I see the swing, right? And then look, when I go to the lower time frame, look at this. Look how price got to that support area, played around, and took off big time, right? Now, what happened? Price got right back down in here. It wicked out, right? It tried to take all the little old buyers, that probably put in they buy orders here, but put their stop loss too tight, right? When they should have put the stop loss below the last swing low, right? You can't really see it on the 4 hour. Let's see if we can see it now. Boom. Here's really the last swing low right here, right? Is right here. This last swing low is like right there. So that's where you should have put your stop loss, right? But that's a big ass stop loss. That's 200 some odd pips, right? So again, this is why we kind of go off the wicks and we call it an area, right? So if I went to the 4 hour and I put this instead of that line, I put it as an area with this wick, right? Now I drag this over, okay? So I would have already known to put my stop loss below here, right? I would have put it below here. So I might have put it just enough, right? I might have put my stop loss just enough to like where it was like just right below here, right? I could have put my stop loss right there, right? And I would have survived the trade, right? But putting the zone is what keeps you from getting wicked out like this, because you're taking where the highest wick was, and you know that you want to give yourself some space. You don't want to put it right. You don't want to put your stop loss right where that wick at. or right where the wick was. Like you don't want to put it right there, right? You want to give yourself some breathing room, because this is what happens so many times. They come back and try to get those buyers that were in this zone. They try to stomp them out because they know, the market makers know, that if you buy in right here, you most likely are going to put your stop loss right below the swing. So it's called a stop hunt. They just come back to this zone, and then they just push the price down a little bit more to capture everybody who had their stop loss right here. So you get out of the trade. I mean, you get kicked out the trade, you lose it, and then you see price make this big ass move. I'm telling you, like I told y'all in the beginning, I'm telling you, every trader, they get out of Forex when they see this. When it starts happening to them, they completely just, man, forget this shit, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. The price is going in my favor, but I'm not winning. It's crazy. I'm telling y'all how to not be in that situation. I'm telling y'all right here how not to be in that situation. You get your support areas lined up. You include the wick, and then you put your stop loss somewhere to give yourself some space between that wick and that zone. You give yourself some space between it, because they have we have what we call stop hunters. All right, the market makers, they do stop hunts where they hunting for people's stops. Whether it's a buy or sell, they hunting for the stops. That's why you oftentimes have a lot of wicks like these, right? And then you get the buyers to reject it, because it was nothing but buyers that were in this zone. That's why price broke out and did what it did, because a bunch of people were willing to buy at this price. And that's why these zones are so important, because it tells you what happened in the past. Everybody wanted to buy when price got here. So price got back down here, and then what happened? Everybody wanted to buy again. And that's that. So when price gets up here, what do you think is going to happen? It already told you everybody wanted to sell when price got up to here, because it fell. It gets to be, man, just so easy, man. Just so easy. Uh whew, man. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I'm getting all emotional and all that. It's just really, really simplistic. So I'm gonna just reset the chart, and let's kind of go, because I've been rambling, but let's do it. So here's my Euro USD. Again, I'm gonna break it all down just how I do it, right? So support and resistance, I see a level right there. Boom. I see another level right here. Boom. All right. I see another level right here. Boom. All right. And you guys are getting it, right? Oh, okay. I see it, man. I see it. Now, since price is right here, all of these levels up here are my resistance levels. So just color them to make them accordingly. Boom. All right. Red, resistance level, red, resistance level. Got multiple touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This qualifies. All right. For one of the rules. Here it is again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches. All right. Here it is, my support. I got 1. This is a touch. Even though it's breaking through it, it's still a touch. Over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe 8 or 9 right here. But here, 1, 2. All right, 1, 2. Right, just enough. Right, but the main reason why I put it here is because of this reversal. Right, that's why I got it there. So this is what I'm looking at right now on the daily. So my daily, I'm saying, okay, price looks like it's been going down. Right, so I'm starting from here. I see we got a lower low, we got a lower high. We got a lower low, we got a lower high. We got a lower low, and we got a lower high. So all of this is down. Market structure is downtrend, right? It's going down. So I go to my 4-hour. That's my bias down, right? Now I go to my 4-hour. And I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, you know what? I see a little level right here, right? Price came down here, and then it reversed, right? I see it here also. Price came down here, and then it reversed. So now I'm drawing in another level on the 4-hour. Boom. I put it right there. And of course, it's going to be my resistance because price is below it. Okay. So now, again, I just put a line. But if I didn't put the line, I could have put an area. So here's my area, right? Boom. Like this. Nice little area. Captures all of my wicks and all that from the past, right? Boom. That's my area. So now I'm saying, okay, I'm at a resistance area. Perfect. My bias on the daily was down. 4 hour, I could see prices still moving down, right? Price was up here in this zone. Now it's down here in this zone. And now it's down here in this zone. It's moving down, right? Okay. So got my daily bias is down. Got my 4 hour, confirm that it's down. Now I'm gonna go to my 1 hour and I'm gonna look for entry. Oh man, what do I notice? I notice I got candle loss, candle momentum. So this candle's big, then this is smaller, 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 and it's halting, right? Now it's not really, it hasn't really broken out of this zone, right? I got my alert for if it does, so I don't miss the play of it going up and getting all of this space and opportunity for it to get to this high, right? Or possibly to this zone, right? It's a line, but it's really a zone, okay? Or it can sell and then it can come back down to support, right? So let's see. If it goes to support, we're looking at just 30 pips. So nothing, right? But again, I feel like there's a lot of things that can cause the euro to go down. So it can get right here. It can get back to here, which is 96 pips, which is really good. Or it can get back to this support zone, which is 137, right? I'm looking to make a bag off the euro, okay? Whether it goes up or down, I'm just letting you know right now. And that's why I put it at a 5-star trade. But here, it's at my resistance. So now I can just go and I can look at the lower time frames just to get more details about what's happening. 15 minutes. Okay, here we go. Push this down. And boom, there it is. I see this big candle, but now we completely lost momentum, right? It's just these two little doji candles are forming, right? So before, when I had the line as support, this was above the line, so it made it as support, right? But it's still in the zone. When you draw a zone, now you can see it's still in the zone. So if you had it at support, you'll be thinking, oh, go ahead and buy, and then that thing come back and tank on you again, and you're like, oh shit, right? That's why I do zones more than I do just lines. Even if I have the line on my chart, I'm still looking at it as a zone. I don't never look at it as just that line, just that point, right? So it's still in my zone. So all I really want, I can see prices trending up a little bit, right? So I could draw a trend line, right? On the 15 minute, it's not that clear, but on the 30 minute, on the 5 minute, I can see it now, right? Here it is. So right here, boom. That's my little trend line. And that's why I have my alert right here. Because if price comes down and it breaks my alert, we have now broken this trend line, this uptrend line, and we've fallen from our resistance zone. So guess what? Where's our next targets? Right here, because this is a swing. Next target after that, right here. This is a bit of a swing. Next target after that is right here. This is a bit of a swing. And this is my support. But again, this is an area. It is not a particular line. So I'm looking to make these 30 pips or whatever it is, right? 27, 30 pips on the sell. If I get in on a standard lot, that's $300, guys. I'm on a 5-minute chart. This could happen in an hour. $300 in an hour. Come on, we make money, right? So now, guess what? It could do the complete opposite, right? Instead of going down and breaking this trend line, price could do this. Price could break out of the zone. Boom, broke out of the zone, right? It looked like it's going to go up, but then it comes back and retests the zone. And then I'm waiting for the candles to show me, oh, okay, I got a big engulfing red candle that came right here and it hit my alert. Oh, it's go time. Because now when I buy right here, I've already missed the down draw, the drawdown of it pulling back, where it went up and then it pulled back to test it just to say, okay, yeah, that's a strong zone. And now it came up. Well, I bought right here instead of buying right here. Because when I bought right here, I saw red. But when I bought right here, nothing but green. Okay, even if it wanted to come down back and test this zone again, I'm seeing some red, but I'm seeing a little bit of red. Right? This is what, 6-8 pips. So what? Right? So what? Right? But my stop loss would be where, guys? Below the zone. Right? So my stop loss would be. So I see this zone is right here. But you think I'm going to put my stop loss right here? Nope. I'm going to put my stop loss like right here. Because I know about the stop hunters. They come, they start making you think it's going to go down. And then they go, boop, take you out. And then they go up. But that's they're going to get the people who put it right below the zone. They're going to get you guys every time. But the ones who know about this, they don't put their stop loss right there. They put their stop loss a little bit further than that. like right here. That way they can stay alive and get that fake out. Avoid that little fake out and get their profits. Right? This is what's going to happen. Y'all gonna see. Y'all will absolutely see when later today, because it'll happen probably while we're analyzing everything tonight. You're gonna see that it's gonna break this trend line and hit my alert, or it's gonna break out of the zone and hit my alert, and y'all gonna be like, damn, that's so easy, that's so simple. Yeah, that's what it is. This stuff is not hard, guys. But okay, so here, zones. Support and resistance. One of the things, we made our touches. Okay, let's reset the chart. All right, I get rid of this zone. I don't really need it for right. Well, I'll leave it. Well, we got multiple touches. Then we got look for recent touch. Okay, so prices right here, right? I got to go down to the lower time frame so y'all can see. All right, prices right here. And we look left. It was recently touched. All right, this is February 23rd, and this is February 25th. So that was just a few days ago. It touched this level. This is just another requirement of drawing support and resistance that helps you determine that it's a valid support or resistance area. All right, so you guys always look at that checklist that I sent you in the chat to look at that and go through that. When you're going through it, say, okay, let's see what the first requirement. Multiple touches. Does it have multiple touches? Okay, it does. Yeah. It touched it 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's good. All right, let's see. Look for a recent touch. All right, when was this? Okay, that was just a day ago. Okay, that's a recent touch. Boom, got it. Look for obvious levels. Does it look obvious? Like, you see this? This looks obvious, right? Where these candles are side by side, I could put a little level right here. It's a very tiny level, but still, it looks obvious, right? Even right here, you guys can see candles above, and then it breaks, right? So this looks obvious, right? That these candles, all of these candles right here are below this zone, and all of these candles right here are above the zone. It looks obvious. The levels just look obvious to you. When you're looking on the chart, you go, damn, that looks pretty obviously. Like, I could see, okay, when it broke right here, that was a level that it broke, and now prices stand below that level. It looks obvious. That's what that is. And then acted as both support and resistance. Again, all the candles right now are below this zone, which is acting as resistance. But in the past, all of these candles up here are above this zone, which where it was acting as support. Okay, so here, like, this is a perfect example of, like, okay, price got to our support zone. This at the time, this was support, and then we wanted to buy. Well, guess what? We got this bull candle. And but it wasn't bigger than this candle. So again, it still tells you that there wasn't enough buyers that was stronger than this candle. So I would have never bought. I would have wanted a candle, a bull candle that closed above this red candle. Oh, it keeps pulling it. But the close above that red candle, that's how I know the buyers are in. And then I would have caught whatever this was. I would have caught all of this coming up to the resistance zone. That's what I would have done. Because look what happened. If I bought right here, well, guess what? This is already showing me, because I know how to read a candle, right? It's already showing me that there's not enough buyers to take over that previous candle. So it's not strong enough. So why would I buy? Just because I'm at support? No, you don't. We don't just buy it just because the price is at support. Because if you did, well, guess what? It tanked. Not only did it break support, right? But it just continuously started going down. Look at all this. How many pips is this? Let's count it. 153 pips. Because you lost 153 pips because you weren't patient enough to wait for the candles to come in and break this big red candle. You weren't patient enough for that. You saw this one bull candle and you was like, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm gonna buy, right? Maybe you set your stop loss right below the zone. Maybe you put it down a little bit more below that, right? Just being on the safe side, right? But regardless, there was never enough buyers in the mix for you to hit buy. So guess what? It proved it to you. It shows you not only did this candle engulf this candle because it's bigger, right? The body of it is bigger. It ate this white candle, but then after it ate it, the next candle completely broke that old support zone, and now it made it resistance. Look, this is the retest right here. So it broke it, played around for a little bit, came and retested the zone. Again, it's a zone, it's an area, right? And then it took off. This is what I'm talking about. The breakout, I wouldn't get in here. I'll get in right here off the retest. I see this retest. I say, okay, we got a retest. And then I wait for the next candle, which is this one. So I would have bought right here. I mean, I'm sorry, I would have sold right here, and I would have never seen any drawdown. I would have got all profit right here. And this is, again, from there, this would have been almost 100 pips, 92 pips. 92 pips. That's $900 off a standard lot. This is a 1 hour chart. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. $900. I mean, uh, $900 in 6 hours. Guys, it becomes so easy, man. It becomes so easy. But we went over it. So we got the multiple touches. We got the most recent, it touched recently. We got the obvious level. It just sticks out to you as the obvious level. We got it acted as both support and resistance. And then, the last thing was that it moved drastically. Like it made a drastic move in the opposite direction. And you guys can see that here, right? So it touched support and then it drastically moved in the opposite direction, right? Right here, it didn't drastically move, right? It touched support, but it didn't drastically move. This is what you want. You want where it touches support and it makes a drastic move in the opposite direction. All we're looking for are those V's, right? So usually you can see it clearly on the higher time frames. That's why we go to the higher frames first to get the overall picture, right? Look at that swing. You can see that. Look, coming all the way down, coming all the way up. That's a major swing, right? Look, coming all the way up, coming all the way back down. This is a major swing. Came all the way up, went all the way down. This is a major swing, right? This is all we do. We look for swings. We look for swings. We look for the V's. Those give us a quick way of drawing our support and resistance, right? Just a quick way. Like this one, this doesn't have multiple touches, right? I mean, it has two, but like when you look left, it don't have a whole bunch of recent touches, right? But if we zoom out, boom, there it is. This is where it starts to touch, right? All over here, right? You can see it, but this is why you go to the higher time frames to get the better picture, right? Look at this. I'm sure y'all looking at this right now. I'm gonna erase it. Move the draw. Y'all looking at this right now, and y'all like, okay, I can see the swings. Bain, I see the swings. Here's a swing. Here's a swing. Here's the swing, right? I see the swings, man. I see what you're saying. But now, I see. This looks like a little level to me right here. Let me get my horizontal line. Boom. Look at that. All of these candles are above this line. So this is support to these candles. Now it broke it. This one candle, boom, broke it. And now all of these candles are below this line. And that's only because we drew this level. We got one touch, two touch, almost a touch, right? Because again, this is a zone. So I really wouldn't have just done it like that. I would have done it like this, right? There it is, right? Now you can see how everything's touching more, right? So I got one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch, 5, 6, 7 touches, right? We got it. Oh, when it touched it, did it swing? Yes, it did, right? Touched it, it swung drastically, right? We also got is it obvious? Yeah, this is obvious that this is a level. This is obvious because it keeps coming here touching. It's obvious. And now it broke it. And now it's obvious that this price is respecting it. It's staying below this level, right? The higher time frames get you guys to see it way better, like the levels way better. The lower time frames, there's so many candles, you'll be seeing levels everywhere, right? But we kind of go off of the big levels. Look, you could even see right here. Here's another level, right? So we're just going to draw it. I'm going to put the line first. Boom. Right? You see the level? Look how like these played around up in here and then it broke. Look left. Oh, we got a touch right here. We got another touch right here. Look at these candles. These candles stay below it and then it broke above it. Right? These candles stay right here, then it broke below it. So we got another little zone. So I'll do this. Boom. Right? There you have it. Look how beautiful this starts to look. It just starts like it's poetry. It really, really is. I put my little downtrend line. Boom. So when would I get in for a buy? This is the pop quiz question, but I'm gonna answer it for you guys. When I get a candle that closes above this trend line, right? If I get a candle that opens and closes, it breaks this trend line, I'm gonna get in for a buy because I know about candles breaking trend lines, right? That's what it is, right? But if it keeps respecting this trend line, so almost every time, and again, it's like I'm drawing this trend line as a line, but even the trend lines are zones, right? So what I do to try to make a zone is I just add an additional trend line, right? So boom, this is what I do. Bing. So there we go. So almost every time these candles touch, right with the point of where they are, right? Boom, touches the line, touches the line, touches the line. Almost every time it does it, what happens? Falls, falls, falls. All right, y'all gonna start, it's gonna start coming together. All right, but that's support and resistance, guys.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.